The movie starts with a disappointed couple, Lucy and Adrian, who are struggling to conceive a baby. Lucy feels hopeless after experiencing multiple negative results after trying for so many times when Adrian suggests seeing a fertility specialist, but Lucy is reluctant on this because she wants to conceive naturally. After much persistence by Adrian, she finally agrees to give him the chance. They go to Adrian's former teacher and a top fertility doctor to see if they could get any results. There is a fancy building where Dr. JN runs his own fertility center by the name of Kindle Women's Center. After entering the clinic, Lucy and Adrian meet John's head nurse, Dawn, who offers them a warm welcome after filling out the paperwork. Lucy goes in for an initial basic test. After the exam, Dr. John shows up and greets the couple. Lucy complains that she and Adrian have been trying to conceive for 2 years. She also mentions that she's been taking a healthy diet, exercising, and avoiding alcohol. John promises to help her conceive with the best possible technique while observing Lucy's inner vitals. He talks about how brilliant and generous a student Adrian was and how he enjoyed teaching him medicine. Adrian is flattered but remains humble after the observation. John tells Lucy that her inner organs are perfect and that she may conceive after insemination. He shows her the photographs of happy mothers who successfully had babies after his treatment. It turns out that John has invented a technique of his own called Hindle fertilization, which is a mix of both IVF and IUI, and he wishes to use it on Lucy, expecting her to market the method through her brilliant marketing expertise. The following day at the office where Lucy works, her colleague, Greg, informs her that their boss has been considering Lucy to lead on an important project. Lucy jumps with excitement at the news and thanks Greg for recommending her to the boss. Meanwhile, Adrian prepares his seeds for the fertility process. Later, Lucy is called over at the fertility clinic and inseminated with the seeds using the special method John invented soon enough. Lucy feels symptoms of pregnancy in the office and finds out that finally it's positive. Excited, the couple starts deciding baby names. Lucy insists on using the name Wendy if they have a baby girl, and Adrian suggests naming the boy Adrian Jr. The next day, Lucy informs Greg about her pregnancy. Her other two colleagues, Brian and Mile, also find out about the news and congratulate Lucy. After some time, she goes back to the clinic for an ultrasound only to discover that she's pregnant with triplets of male twins and a female. JN suggests a selective reduction to ensure a healthy pregnancy and successful birth, which means either the twins or the daughters should be aborted. However, he advises on keeping the boys, claiming that they seem to be strong enough compared to the girl. At night, the couple goes to dinner to relax their minds and make a decision. Adrian suggests the doctor's advice, and also because there are not many chances for them to get pregnant again. However, Lucy wants to have a girl, as she thinks having 2 babies at a time will be a lot, and it will also impact her work life. When Adrian expresses reluctance about her decision, Lucy explains that she always envisioned having a girl. Soon Adrian agrees with Lucy's decision and decides to have a baby girl. He also informs Lucy that John wants her to market his new fertility technique. Lucy agrees to write a story or a speech to give John's magic technique out there for the people. After a while, seeing Lucy worried about the reduction procedure, Adrian suggests she join a mommy group to make friends who are also pregnant. Following his advice, Lucy joins a group of expecting mothers who are fascinated to know that Lucy got pregnant through the leading fertility doctor John before the reduction. Lucy discovers Grace Single, a spiritual American African midwife, on a magazine cover. Just then John calls her in for the procedure. During the Providence, Lucy loses consciousness just then, hearing Adrian and John talking about her having a fairy tale ending. She then has a nightmare about her daughter fading out in blood. Scared, she wakes up and finds Adrian and John entering the room. When she asks John about the reduced twins, John tells her that the reduced fetuses attach to the placenta and get extracted with the afterbirth without affecting the baby. On their way home, Lucy tells Adrian that she heard him and John were talking about weird things during the procedure, but Adrian demises her concerns, saying that she might be dreaming. Soon after Lucy starts showing up, she experiences excessive bleeding from her uterus. Adrian rushes her to John, who tells them that there is nothing to worry about as Lucy's uterus is making room, so it's stretching and bleeding. Strangely, he forbids Lucy and Adrian from Googling any information, as it will only cause confusion. Lucy feels suspicious, and while leaving the doctor's office, she stares at the secret room labeled the lab. Later, Lucy keeps looking at the magazine cover where she read about Grace. She also starts excelling at work and presents a mind-blowing pitch to her company, receiving multiple compliments. As a result, she gets to lead the wife's project account, ecstatic. She starts thinking that her life is on track and she has everything a woman dreams of and aspires to be. She also befriends Marcy from the group who got pregnant through IVF. Marcy talks to Lucy about how she's facing complications with her pregnancy and is recommended to bed and rest later at a conference. Adrian presents John with an award by talking about how he fundamentally changed the field of fertility after Adrian's speech. John gives a thank you speech in which he talks about the pleasure he feels to be able to give the happiness of a child to a desperate woman at night while watching Grace's video. Lucy suddenly hears something. She gets out of bed to check and discovers a safe in Adrian's office. The following day, she meets Marcy, who tells her that she took a second idea and has a good chance of having a healthy baby. Lucy is happy about the news but suspicious about her own unborn baby. She shares with Marcy that she's seeing wild dreams about her baby and thinks that JN did something to her unborn daughter, of which Adrian is aware. Marcy consoles her by explaining that motherhood is not easy and that she must be strong. Later at night, Lucy watches Grace's video in which Grace talks about how doctors nowadays claim that women's bodies are at high risk and in their control, whereas Grace thinks that women are gifted with the highest potential purpose for humankind. She explains that she became a midwife because she wanted women to connect with their bodies and feel the spiritual current that flows through them. She condemns modern gynecology as it deprives women of the experience of the richness of natural birth. Suddenly, Lucy feels so deeply connected to Grace that she starts realizing her feelings and screaming, which makes her feel free and empowered the next day at work. Dawn shows up out of nowhere, asking Lucy to return the magazine she borrowed from John's office. Lucy feels strange and becomes certain that something is wrong. She goes to see John, who assures her that the baby is absolutely fine. Lucy returns the magazine and apologizes for keeping it for so long. John also apologizes for Dawn's behavior and explains that she holds him very close to her heart and feels proud of his success. Before leaving the office, Lucy again stares at the lab and feels something strange is going on behind the doors. Later at work, Greg informs Lucy that she's losing momentum on the wife's account and that it's being handed over to Brian. Heartbroken, she goes to see Adrian and tells him that she's being taken out of the project. When she tells Adrian that she got him food, Adrian is perplexed because she got him lunch for the second time that day moments ago. Bewildered, they go to see John, who tells him that Lucy is suffering from prepartum depression and prescribes her medication. Dawn suggests Lucy enjoy her pregnancy journey to feel better and happy. Lucy then goes to see Grace and is excited to see her in person. Grace comforts Lucy with her words, and as a result, Lucy starts opening up to her, talking about how she wishes that her unborn daughter gives her a missing piece of the puzzle that she lost with the death of her mother at night. Lucy has a dream where she sees John and Adrian having an intimate relationship. Suspicious, she wakes up and opens Adrian's safe only to find a file on her that has pictures and proving that she is being followed. Lucy shows the file to Marcy, explaining to her that the file says that she's being used as part of a study that she didn't sign up for. Marcy becomes confused and decides to show the file to her lawyer husband to get a lawyer's perspective on Lucy's rights. Until then, she suggests Lucy behave normally until she gathers more information. Later, while taking a bath, Lucy visions is nearly drowning in a bath full of bloody water. Adrian helps her out of the bathtub and gives her the medication that John prescribed her. Lucy pretends to take the medicine in front of him but spits it out after he leaves. The next morning, Lucy tells Adrian that she's quitting her job and planning to not take Dr. John's services as he gives her bad vibes and she doesn't feel safe with him. Adrian gets mad and fears that John will be disappointed by him, but Lucy does not care. She ignores Adrian's wish to continue with JN and holds a baby shower where she invites Marcy during the baby shower. Marcy gives her a first edition copy of Peter Pan that Lucy's mother used to read to her strangely. Lucy visions seeing Peter Pan's shadow morph into an expanding bloodstain on the book cover. Just then Lucy realizes that Marcy knows her real name, although she never told her that when she asks Marcy about it. Marcy laughs it out, blaming her that she's thinking from her mommy's brain after Lucy storms out. Marcy goes to check on her and admits that she started consulting Dr. JN through Adrian's help. Lucy feels betrayed after finding out that Marcy gave the files back to Adrian, the only proof she had. When Marcy tells her that Adrian denies having a safe in his office, Lucy freaks out and starts experiencing contractions, and Adrian rushes her to Grace for delivery while giving birth. Grace tells Lucy that she gave birth to a baby boy, surprised to see the excessive bleeding. Grace insists they go to a hospital immediately to deliver the second baby. Adrian takes Lucy to John, who delivers the second baby after the delivery. John takes Lucy's removed placenta and reduced female fetus and packs it in a plastic AG. Lucy is shocked and unable to sink in what just happened, and Adrian convinces her to bond with the twins after getting discharged. Lucy goes to see Grace to vent her emotions but realizes that the image of her as a magical midwife goddess was not real. Seeing Lucy overwhelmed and vulnerable, Grace tells her that it's her job to solve her own problem. She goes to John's clinic to conf him about reducing the wrong baby. Don takes her to a room and suggests being grateful for having 2 healthy babies and a wonderful husband. She also reveals that Adrian is joining John's clinic and will soon join hands with John and his gynecological practice. Suspicious Lucy sneaks into John's lab only to find a bag containing her removed placenta and reduced female fetus. Hysterical, Lucy bursts into tears seeing the baby she desired to have just. Then John enters the lab and reveals the unsettling truth, in which he confesses that he uses his own sperm to inseminate all his female patients and did the same to Lucy. According to him, there's so much terror in the world, and he believes that his genes are the best. He shows Lucy a refrigerator full of his sperm vials, through which he plans to extend his bloodline via male births. Fearful that Lucy might leak his secret, he attempts to kill her by drugging her with an injection. However, Lucy kicks him and slams a mirror on his head. She then ties him to a chair to torture him. When Dawn tries to interject, Lucy gags her with a medical instrument and then injects her with a drug. She then gets on top of John and punches him severely to torture him further. She destroys the refrigerator containing his sperm and leaves the room with the reduced fetus, seeing her covered in blood. The patients in the waiting area freak out. Lucy then arrives home and visions herself, releasing the twins to float out the window. Adrian arrives home and is surprised to see her face covered in blood when Lucy asks him if he knew that they were having twins. He tries to make her understand that he thought that the deal with John would have been good for them both. This infuriates Lucy, and she hands the twins to him furiously, asking him to leave. The film ends with Lucy picking up the female fetus and trying to breastfeed it. Suddenly, she starts hallucinating that the fetus is latching onto her. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe for more daily videos. See you in the next video.